Happy, 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 happy Monday. Happy Monday, everybody. How are you? Oh man, it is 6 o'clock. It's the Monday snack. And it's the season finale. It's the season finale, guys. So you know what? Today we are going to look back. We're going to look back at the good times. We're going to look back at the last. We're going to look back at all this crazy stuff that's happened over the last, can you believe it, 22 episodes, man. This is episode 22. So, let me talk about what's going on. So, as you may have been aware, if you've been watching the show from time to time, basically, my new album's ready. And I've got so much new content to do that I can't do the show and do everything I need to do in order to make the new album happen. So we're going to be taking a little hiatus, a little break from our weekly meetings here on the Monday Snack. And I'll be back in the summer. I'll be back in June when the first single will be out. And then we can kind of reconvene. I've got some great new ideas for the show as well. So it's going to be really, really exciting. My first guest for the new season is already lined up. Oh man, you're gonna be really excited. You're gonna be really, really excited. So what we're gonna do this week is we're gonna take a look back at some of the stuff that's gone down. Oh man, it was a bit emotional putting the show together today. I got a little bit emotional. So in this first little segment of us sort of taking a walk down memory lane, shall we say, right? We've got some segments of real wisdom from my guests. Check this out. I don't know why, Kevin, right? You're always a joker. Sometimes I'm trying to be serious, right? And on those sessions, you just had me in stitches consistently in stitches.
Listen, it's a very, very happy place that for me when I'm in the studio with the lads playing some banging horn arrangements, and especially when you're amongst friends and people that you've known for years and worked with for years, and so you just feel relaxed and you can just be yourself. I mean, I'm not like that all the time in every single session. I might end up like that, but and so, sometimes I can't help myself, but things come through.
You're always like that, Kevin. I'm sorry. You're always like that. I can't remember a time, because obviously since then we've worked together a lot more, and you're always like that. I mean, a quick question for you, right? Quick question for you then, because what I am, it's a statement and a question. What blew me away about those sessions, was you guys threw yourself into the minutiae of the stuff I'd written.
You have to.
And I really appreciated that, because it was almost like things I instinctively would think, why that phrase could be like this. You guys was straight away, even before I'd thought it, you'd jump in and go, right, let's little scoop here, let's get a nice fall there, let's get these notes, let's come off at the right time, let's really, the fact it's jazz. I ain't got loads of money. You guys weren't getting paid top dollar. You weren't getting paid, right? It was a Kit Kat and a bag of crisps, right? So the fact you come in here and you're still prepared to put that level of detail in, it was seriously really, really appreciated, because you just brought the stuff to life.
Yeah, but what other way is there? To be honest, I mean, what other way is there? If you're gonna, this is what we're all musicians, and this is what we all do, is what we live for. So it's in our DNA. So when you're doing some serious stuff, even when you're not doing serious stuff, actually, music is music, and if it's going to go out there, it's got to go out there in the proper way. You can't go half-cocked.
This is going to be a specific question, right? You can't sort of sidestep it. You can't sort of bat it away and say, oh, it's just a thing, because there has to be some form, right, of method involved here, right? I want to know how you developed your vocal chops, especially in the studio. The studio is a different animal to singing live. It's a different animal, right?
Entirely, yeah.
So you've got you've got this accuracy, the fact you're so accurate, and also you're able to deliver a vocal with a vibe, and you know, both on leads and on backing vocals. On backing vocals, you're tracking up and it is so accurate and so vibey. I was thinking about it again. You're like two things. You're like a Swiss Army knife, right? Because it works on everything. Whatever the job, the Tula knife can run it. You know what I'm saying, right? And then on the other hand, you're like a precision scalpel. Is there ever been a time you have left here, having done a session, and you haven't got that excited text from me within like 45 minutes going, oh my gosh, Tula, so wicked. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Every single time.
Yeah, you do.
It never ceases. Seriously, it never I'm just sitting there thinking, faders up, thinking, what just happened? What just happened? How do you develop it? I'll need to know. Then there has to be a method. I'm sorry. Don't tell me, oh, it's just a thing.
I think it's a lot to do with the way that I'm wired as a person.
Okay.
Because I actually prefer doing studio to live. I think I'm better in studio than live, personally. And I think it's because by nature, I am a maker. I like to make things. I like to build things. And in the studio, getting the opportunity to sing something and then do it again and then layer it and stuff like that. It's like, as I'm singing it through, I'm thinking, what part of my voice do I need to use to get this part right? And what part do I need to use to get that part right? So as I'm singing it through the first time, it's like, okay, that might not be right. Then sing it through again, kind of move it around. And then it's like, oh, okay, yeah, that works. And then once I know what works, it's almost like in my head, it's like a system. I keep doing the same system again, keep using the same part of my voice for that line, use the same part of my voice for that. Does that make sense?
It makes sense. But what kind of bemuses me is, I do this. It's only me and you here right now. No one's watching, right? No one's watching. No one's listening. I do this thing where I will do some BVs for you to sing over the top of. And I called my character Croaky, right?
Yes.
So Croaky lays down some BVs. It's hard. It's hard just for me just to sing two notes the same at the same pitch.
When I was a kid, I have to say I absolutely loved the acid jazz label. I mean, that was my, and listening to Carl, listening to Incognito, listening to Shola from Jamiroquai, listening to Snowboy, listening to Thomas Dayani.
Right. Oh yeah, monster.
These guys, they're all from the UK. And to me, you know what? I want to go to the UK. I wanna meet with these guys. I wanna play with these guys. I just wanna hang there. I wanna breathe the air, what they are breathing there. I moved to the UK, and it wasn't easy because first of all, I moved to Oxford. It was really, really hard to kind of to get any kind of work.
Right.
So I realized that, okay, cool, I have to do something what is recognized in the UK. I did an audition for American show band, what was working on a cruise ship. And basically the show band was, you had one rehearsal in the afternoon with the guest entertainer and one show in the evening. And that was I think it's a 13 or 14 piece band.
Right.
And every night was a different guest entertainer. So it was reading in the afternoon, rehearsal with the person, and one show in the evening. When I got back to the UK, all of a sudden the work just kind of started coming in.
Right.
So I got back from, it's really funny, I got back from the cruise ship. So I've written an email to Shola Akingbola from Jamiroquai, saying that, listen, Shola, I just got back from this cruise ship, I'm from Hungary, would it be possible to meet up or whatever? And he got back to me straight away, Adam, I'm rehearsing tomorrow with my band, come down. And I was, wow, that's
so
wicked.
Cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. I went into the room, Carl was on drums.
Right.
Satin was playing congas. Shola was playing batars and singing. And I went into the room and hang on a second. I mean, these guys are my heroes. And all in one room. And I was just, what's going on? And Carl straight away, listen, Adam, I live in Reading. What is 40 minutes from Oxford? I have a studio in the garden. Just come over. We're going to have a blow. So I went over, and all of a sudden, I found myself going over to Carl's in every 2 months because he was really, and he's still really busy. He's a really busy guy.
Yeah.
But when he was around, he just texted me, "Hey Adam, I'm around. Do you want fancy to come over?" So just went over. We had a blow in the studio, and it was wicked. And that was when everything just kind of started coming in.
Cool. So as you can see, oh man, it's great looking back. It's great. Can you believe it? 22 shows, man. Wow. Oh wow. So looking back, I just feel really, I've said it before, I feel fortunate to be surrounded by some really great people, some really amazing musicians, and even like that last story there from Adam, just getting an idea of how people, we kind of help each other out. It's a real creative hub. It's just been a really, really cool vibe. And doing these Monday snack things has just sort of underlined just how positive that whole musical community is. Yeah, I can say hi to a few folks. Hi to a few folks. I need to slow down a bit. Okay, hi to Jazzy. Jazzy, don't worry, man. I had sort of big panicky word on the chat. Jazzy, I'll be back in June, man. I'll be back in June. Hi to Jazzy. Hi to Tula. Hi to Mrs. S, who's in the house, and the smallest small. Hi to Isabel. Hi to Stefan, to Patricia, to Mick, and to Chris. Really good to see everybody. So, next part of our trip down memory lane. Some of these conversations were just really inspiring as well. You are one of the most upbeat and positive musicians. People that not just people, right? I know, yeah. And I don't think that's an accident. Because it affects the work environment. It means the work environment is a nice place to be.
Yeah, it is.
Is that always your thing? You know something? I know for me, I've found ways of doing things based on being in situations that I didn't like the way things were done.
Totally agree.
Right? So I think, okay, I've been on the tour, I've been in the rehearsal, I've been in the session, and that was great, that was cool, or that's a bit weird, So this whole positivity, this whole thing, you're the kind of person, you're the musician that, it's always a vibe. It's always a vibe. The music feels great because there's a vibe. It's not just about, it's not just about the playing, right?
No.
So where again, and I've asked that question a lot, but where does that come from? I can't imagine it's just an accident.
It's come from, I'm blessed to be working. If you look at the list of, and I'm not saying I'm up here or down here, I'm just saying generally, I'm blessed to be working.
Yeah.
As in the gigs I've been called for, they could have called so many other different guys. There's that part of it. Two, I look at life as in, I could have been living in Syria. I could be living in I'm not saying Africa's a bad place, but they haven't got many choices. There's many, and as I look at it and see, I've got a house, a car, I'm one of the lucky 10%. And I've always been that positive because I'm like, wow, I could be living anywhere. I'm living in England, as you know. So all these factors come in, all these factors for me. So I'm like constantly blessed that I've got a studio, constantly blessed I've got a car, constantly blessed my kids are healthy. It all comes in. And that's why I'm upset. Every time someone sees me in this car, why are you so happy? There's many reasons. As in now, okay, we've got the virus that's happening now. Some people are sick, some people are dying. I'm still here, I'm still striving on. And I've got loads of great mates, including yourself. I'm a lucky man to have good friends, not just, as an acquaintance. That helps.
Yeah.
And as you know, when someone calls me, depending on the gig is, I don't even ask about money. Who's on the gig? Andrew, Winston, I'm in. Because I know I'm going to have a laugh.
This section of our chat is going to be probably about the most inspirational thing that I associate with you. So I remember being sat in this room, right? It was quite late at night, working away, and I get a text on my phone, and you texted me, and you tell me you've got cancer, right? And I'm like, what? And I think I called you back straight away. I thought I just called the phone.
Yeah.
Now, over that whole process, I want to talk about, just general things, but I'm probably going to come at it from a different slant. I was struck by your calmness, your positivity, obviously rooted in your faith. Yeah, you're still very driven, right? And obviously your health had to be like number one priority. But your focus, that whole positivity, I keep coming back to that, and focus with otherworldly.
I was started to lose a bit of weight and just wasn't feeling good. And I'd been swimming and I'd swallowed some water, and so it made me feel really sick. So I went and I was sick, and just blood came out, and it's just like, this is horrendous, And I went to the doctors when I came back, and he said, it sounds like you've got a stomach ulcer, so we'll get you checked out of the hospital and get you some pills or whatever and get it sorted. So I went and went to the hospital to have the old camera, and all that kind of stuff down my throat, and then went to the hospital to get the results. Had to change my results because I had a gig over in Budapest, so I had to phone the doctor and say, oh, sorry, I can't come in today because I've got to go to Budapest for a couple of days. It's like, we need to see you really quickly. It's like, yeah, I know, but I've got a gig, and finally got to the doctors, and I was met by this consultant and 3 Macmillan nurses, and it was just like, when you walk into somewhere and you think, man, this isn't too great, and they told me that I'd got this tumor in my stomach, and that I was going to have my whole of my stomach removed. And they said, hopefully, if you keep positive and you look after yourself, you can get through, but it's not going to be easy, And so I just, what can you do? It's just crazy. But driving to the hospital that day, I saw this rainbow, and I just had this feeling like, whatever happens today, everything's going to be fine. And that was it. And I just sort of had this peace about it. And I came back, told Ems and told the boys, which was just hideous, and told my parents, and lots of tears and all that kind of stuff. And you go through all the things of like, well, I'm not going to be working, I'm self-employed. How am I going to provide for my family in this time? How am I going to do all this kind of stuff? Am I going to die? Is this the end? How long have I got? And all these kind of things. And I thought, well, if this is my last season on Earth, I'm just going to enjoy it. I can't be worried about it. I've got a faith, so I feel like I'm secure with the man upstairs anyway. So it's all good after here as far as I'm concerned. So I'll just enjoy it. I went through this kind of thing of thinking, well, who's going to look after my family and all that kind of stuff. And I thought, well, God's looked after me so far. If He loves me, He loves my family more than I do, He'll take care of it, and it'll all be okay.
You've obviously been insanely successful, right? But do you have an anecdote of where things didn't go well? Most of my guests sort of have a massive horror story, like a serious horror story. Everyone's got one. Yeah, everyone's got one. Like, has it ever been a vibe where you've gone in a situation, it's like, oh man, this didn't go well? Or has it been like a pristine procession? You can say if it's been pristine, it's been pristine, man. Don't
It hasn't, no, far from it, man. Are you kidding? Oh my God. Listen, I'm just trying to figure out which to cherry pick for you right now.
It's no names, man. It's no names. It's always hypotheticals.
Okay, let's do a no names one then. Okay,
right.
A no names one is after I finished this tour.
Yeah.
I didn't pick up my bass for about a year. Didn't touch it.
Wow.
I was going to quit.
That was the thing.
Yeah.
Based on what was this?
Being
is good
bullied.
to know. You're right.
Yeah, I was feeling bullied. I was traumatized, man. I was young, really young, and
right. How young were you then? How young, roughly?
Well, I'm going to give it away if I say my age.
No,
I mean, it was in my 20s.
Right. Okay.
Early days. So I was in a situation where I just thought, well, if this is a successful moment and this is what success is. I don't think I want to do that anymore. I don't want to do that. Yeah. So I had to take some time. And actually, I have to say that one of the things that I realise now that's done me the best kind of self-advice, kind of like reflection stuff has been to wait. Always wait. Take your time. Be patient. Let the dust settle. Because when you're feeling, sort of triggered in some way, or, feeling miserable or not knowing what to do about something or whatever, if you just wait and don't push it, look away from it. That's why I put my bass down, because I was like, if I keep pushing forward with this right now, the way I feel, uninspired and all the rest of it, I won't want to play. So I just left it until I missed it. It took me about a year. Right.
So would you say that situation was just a negative situation in terms of the way you were treated? Would you say it was a situation you were ready for when you went into it, musically?
It was definitely nothing musical. It was definitely to do with character and personality.
Personal. Right, okay. And
it was that I needed to grow a little bit more, needed to grow up a bit more, and to be stronger.
Right.
And, a lot of what is in the mix of that is being female, right? And people might say, it must be really difficult for you being female in the industry. And you don't get a pass for being a female in the music business as an instrumentalist.
Right.
You can have harder blocks to climb.
Yeah.
As a female. But every musician, male and otherwise, tell me of the same instances where they've just had horrible moments to do with their ego, being dissed, being out of their depth. So it isn't just unique to women, this.
Yeah.
But I have to say, in terms of sensitivity and being female in that environment, in the music business, I had to develop such a tough skin. You have to do that and self-soothe. Don't ask for a pass. Don't ask for any special allowances or treatment, because you can't expect it and it doesn't come.
It's funny to talk about the bullying thing.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a couple of things over the years where you're on the road and you're thinking, hold on a second, this is meant to be the most enjoyable part of my life. I'm doing the thing I've dreamed of doing all this time. I'm traveling the world. I'm playing music. This is great. Why on earth do I feel like, someone's messing with my head? Yeah, inspiring people. Really cool. Very, very cool. Hi to Jonathan and hi to John Fish as well. Great to see you guys. Now, one of the things I've been doing over this first season of the Monday Snack is laughing so much. Some of my guest reactions for these stupid quizzes, right, have been absolutely priceless. So this is the Impossible Choice Quiz. Oh man, I love it. Musical accompaniment. This is great. Oh man, you're kidding me, bro! Are you kidding me?
Aunt Nelly, first gig, she's 80 years old and she's come to one gig, mate.
I think I'd probably do it just because it would be hilarious.
MD blatantly, and I'll text him later and say, sorry, man.
Oh, God! You can't do that!
That's deep.
No hesitation.
All right. I'm going... Damn!
Oh, no.
Oh, man.
Which one, Gabe?
I would... God. I would do...
Come on.
Sorry, Chris, pin the jazz.
Oh, no. That was deliberate.
Oh, he's going to kill me.
Oh! That's the curveball. Quickly.
Oh, that's tough.
Quickly. No explanation. Quickly. Come along, quickly. Pick. Come on. Pick. Come on. Too loud. This is the point.
Does it make a difference? Okay.
No hesitation. Quickly. See, you're too nice. Come on.
Arturo. Oh.
This is good. I'm really loving these reactions. This is good. I did my job well this time. Oh, man. You've been far too assured in this quiz. There's supposed to be hesitation. You just nailed it like blah.
Sign away, mate. Sign away, bro. Take it while it's there. Oh.
Yeah. Sound effects. My goodness. Yeah, I spent so much time laughing. A hi to Anita. Oh yeah, John Fish. This is the season finale, my friend. Season finale. Be back in June though. Season finale. New albums out. Just anyone that wasn't on when we first started. New albums out. I've got to put so much great new stuff together. I just need time to do it. So we're taking a bit of a break from the Monday snack. As I was saying before, yeah, lots of laughing. Lots and lots of laughing. Man alive. Right, what's up now? Right, other bits. Other pearls of wisdom from some more of my guests coming up. When sort of Pat said, oh yeah, the guys will do it. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, they'll do it. I was like, oh my God, they'll do it. Oh my God, they'll do it. But you guys just sat down, just like playing, and I just thought, man alive. You can walk in, look at that, and play it.
And it was complex. Honestly, it was one of the hardest sessions, I think, for reading. We really had to concentrate. But the joy you got out of it, though, because everybody loves a challenge in a studio. You don't want to get beat,
Right.
So when you coming up with these lines, and I'm thinking, who is this guy? He's a drummer. He can't come up with lines like this. Are you mad? So I was so impressed. But it was an amazing experience, and to do it for just a packet of crisps.
That's what I'm saying. For a packet of hooligans and a Kit Kat. Oh, man's got the products ready. I love it. Yeah. To get to the point that you're able to do that. So that's this is my question about the Martian.
Yeah.
What are the stages? It's like you picked up the trumpet at whatever age it was.
Yeah.
From then until then, what were the stages? That's my point.
Well, the stages, I think don't get beyond yourself. Don't run before you can walk. Get the foundations of learning about the instrument. Get a nice sound, a nice tone. People sort of want to play like Dizzy and Miles before they even know what the instrument is about.
Right.
So get to learn about the instrument, what it does. Own it. And then go about finding yourself in what genre you want to play. And I was taught classically,
right,
and brought up classically. So reading music was part of that. I was in the church choir, so sight reading music, sight singing was a great benefit.
Yeah.
It comes in so handy today. Just being able to hear what you're playing. So if you're singing in your head what the piece of music, you're 9 times out of 10 you shouldn't really split the note. You should play the note bang on because you're singing it in your head.
But from there I kind of started to move into. I got into a band with some good mates of mine, and started to move into playing more kind of like pop punk music and sort of Blink 182 and all that kind of stuff. Then it got heavier and heavier and heavier. It was like Metallica, Megadeth. Then it was like Meshuggah, then it was Opeth, then it was anything. It was Dream Theater was a huge influence.
So it was always the rock thing in those early days, right? You were just
completely, and Guns N' Roses obviously as well.
Right.
And it was always, to me, sort of, it got to the point where if it wasn't about 12 minutes long and didn't have at least 3 solos in it, it probably wasn't worth listening to, And it was that was completely my approach to it, especially with when I was listening to progressive metal and all that kind of thing. Anyway, so I kind of went down that road, and I always thought that learning that kind of style and learning that kind of thing really helped me to kind of focus on technique without really focusing on technique, if that makes sense.
Because you have to have technique to play, yeah. All right, that's a very interesting thing especially because working with you and sort of doing gigs with you. You've got a handle on the contemporary pop stuff, the funky stuff. You know what I mean. You can fusiony. You can cover it all, and quite often, I don't often come across guys. I'm trying to think of guitarists. I think most of the guitarists I come across were probably into the jazz side of things from the off.
Yeah,
and got into the rock thing later rather than the other way around. Appreciate the rock thing later on, even though the rock god thing as kids normally it's what you'd expect little boys to want to do.
I had this little 10-watt practice amp, which I was convinced in my head, I was like, that sounds exactly like what I'm hearing on TV. It sounds exactly the same, and exactly what I'm hearing on these records. That distortion that was super buzzy and really scooped. It was just. I would love to go back and play it now because it probably sounded horrendous. Right. But so I kind of went down that path, very much down that path. And like I said, I was focusing on technique without ever focusing on technique. And I had the John Petrucci Rock Discipline DVD that when I was by this point I would have been probably 18 or 19, that I would genuinely just put on and watch in bed like at night. It's like watching instructional guitar videos in bed. Sounds unbelievably uncool.
I rarely get low. And if I do get low, it's before my monthlies, like every normal woman. Right, okay. You understand? It's normal. And that would be like I'll see a film and I'll cry or something. But every day I choose happiness, and I do this thing in the morning to activate it. So I'll get up, get washed and dressed, and then I put on my soca and my calypso, and I do a little dance in the morning. Just to activate your high, because some people need to run, some people need to walk or swim or do something to activate their high. So I do like a little dance, and it gets me there.
Okay, so we've gone off on a tangent now, right? But I like this tangent.
Go ahead.
So this sounds like a very disciplined mindset. Yeah, you're sort of enforcing a certain discipline yourself. So whether you feel like it, you do it anyway. That seems to be the thing, yeah?
Absolutely.
Now, so in life, we get to points where even if we have our discipline and we have our routine and this is what we do to stay level, and I'm almost thinking about it creatively now as well, which again I'm going to get onto. You've thrown me off a different tangent. but there are times when we have to say, I don't know, we don't have to.
I know what you're going to say.
Yeah, I'm thinking, I don't feel cool. It's not great.
Yes.
When you get to those points, do you have space to say, I'm not great? The small is small. I'll talk about the smallest small. My daughter, right? There'll be days when I'm the funniest dad on the planet. She's like, I can just see I'm the center of her world. I can see it. And there are days when I'm like, you know what? I'm under stress today, I'm stressed out, right? So there are days when I know I've got to stay up. The smallest small has got to be, she's got to be positive, right? And there are days I'm like, Andrew, you need to just take stock right now and just sit down and breathe and go, you know what? It's not great right now, yeah? Do you give yourself those times, or do you say to yourself, I have to put my sunny decision on?
No, never. I give myself that time. If you don't give yourself that time, you will bury it and then it'll explode on someone that didn't deserve it. So if I'm feeling something, I give myself time to work through it. Okay, for instance, my nephew passed away not last year, the year before. And I had to keep giving myself. There'll be times I'd be running on the run machine and I would hear a song and it would remind me of him or something that he'd said. And I would have to stop. Have your cry. Right. Make sure you feel your feelings. Don't bury them. If you bury them, they're gonna shh in your face. So have your cry, have your low, but don't stay there. That's my only point. Yeah. If you don't work through your feelings, they're going to keep coming up in patterns and show themselves to you in different ways in different people's lives. They would keep showing themselves. So you need to work through either the patterns or the lows in order to get to the marvelous you that you are.
Oh, right? Okay.
Yeah, you have to.
I didn't mean to make it, Dr. Phil, but that was
no,
cool.
Man, it's all right with Dr. Phil. We all need a little bit of Dr. Phil.
Yeah, we cover all bases here on the Monday Snack. We cover all the bases. I'm telling you. Hi to Martin. Hi to Anita. Last menu for a while, Anita. Yes, indeed. Hi to Kev. Hi to Kev and hi to Paul as well. Right, last bit of our little trip down Monday Snack Memory Lane. We had loads of conversations, right? Me and the folks, just about life. And how it kind of relates to our whole musical journey and the rest of it. But you know, it could be really cool. Check this out. What does your work-life balance look like?
Well,
you got kids. How'd you work?
Well, now I mean, what you mean since coronavirus or before? Or
I'd say before, because we're hopeful, right? So we're hopefully we're near vaccine. We're near.
Yeah.
Some sense
Well,
of
so
normality.
here's the thing. It's actually before it was just totally in favour of work. I just worked all the time, but I don't know if I'm any less happy now. I'm looked after the kids a lot. So my wife's a doctor, so obviously during COVID she's been at work a lot.
Yeah, a lot.
And I've been looking after kids. I've been in the studio writing. I've done a lot of library music, and some few online sessions and bits and pieces. But I don't know if I'm any less happy on a day-to-day basis now than when I was working, driving up and down the country and doing whatever, just working all the time. Weirdly, I think that I actually appreciate music more now, Right. So my work-life balance now is very much in favour of life at the moment. And actually, I feel pretty good about that, actually. I don't know if I want to go back to what I was doing before. I think I might be more picky about work. Right. And I'm not the first musician. I've spoken to a couple of people who feel like that. I think that there are certain bits of work that I won't be saying yes to anymore. I just didn't enjoy them, and it's like,
right.
And I'll, try and focus on music a bit more and less on work, if you see what I mean.
Do you know what I enjoy?
Yeah.
What I really miss? I miss the fact that a lot of, it's probably, I guess it's similar for most musicians. A lot of what we do seems to be, our social life seems to be entwined with our work life.
Yeah. 100%.
So you see people, you hang out, you grab a drink, you have something to eat, you play some music, you have a chat, you get on a plane, you're in remember that hotel in Marrakesh?
Oh, that you know what? There's something actually. This. I'm going to make a point about this because you said something which I thought was very interesting. This is a pic, by the way. I'm just not something weird on my end. I remember you saying so just for the benefit of the viewers, we stayed in the most insane. We just basically had a villa each, didn't we?
Yeah.
It was. Like our own, everyone had their own private swimming pool. There was a separate jacuzzi. It was just, I've never seen anything like it before. They were like, what were they? They were like tens of thousands of pounds a night or something.
It was mad. It actually, it wasn't that bad, but it was a lot of money. Actually, it was a lot of money.
Yeah.
But it was ridiculous. Yeah, Karen.
Yeah, it was just ridiculous. Yeah, I was just phoning all my family, going, look at this, like on FaceTime, Anyway, so but I remember you saying, and it's interesting when you talk about like what work-life balance and your sort of attitude towards work in general. I remember you saying you sat in the back of the van. I remembered it quite clearly, and you were going, "Well, it's all very nice, but it's not my life."
Yeah. During your time at HMV, right? You had this like expansive, I think I said encyclopedic knowledge of music. And you were regularly responsible for me parting with sizable amounts of cash.
Yeah, right? Guilty.
Because of all your recommendations, right? And you've got this real sort of infectious enthusiasm for music. Oh, yeah. And it kind of makes me think quite often of you not just as a bass player, but as like a real music lover. Just like an overall music lover. Yeah?
Yeah.
That's the way you come across to me, right? Do you have to make a conscious effort, right, to maintain this enthusiasm for music? Because even now, like decades later, right, we'll hook up on a gig or rehearsal, or you'll come around to record something, and you're like, oh yeah, this new album, this is out, and do you have to think about it? Or is it just inbuilt? Is it just like intrinsic to you?
I think it's inbuilt. I mean, I think we've all got a love for music in us. That's why I think we do what we do. I mean, I try and hark back to where the enthusiasm came from. I think it's, like everybody will always say, there was always music in our household, in everybody's household. And I think it was a form of escapism. I think it's not like the days, like today, you've got so much other stuff to occupy your mind. iPods, internet, so all that kind of stuff. I think all we had then was TV and music. So movies, music, that was a kind of escapism. And I don't know, nobody else in the family was musical, but I was just so drawn to it. My brother was bringing records home, and I just wanted to, I think I just imagined myself as a musician.
And why the bass? Why the bass?
Oh, it's the first thing I heard. It seemed to kind of fulfill a role that nothing else did. I loved everything. I loved keys, I loved brass, I loved drums. But for me, the bass lines always seemed to meander through everything. It kept pulse, it was melodic, it did everything that it sang, it did everything that all the other instruments did, in my opinion. So I kind of felt bass, you get to do everything through the bass guitar.
There was a time, right, that we had a conversation and it had a profound effect on me, right? In a real positive way. So there's a while back, I'd called you to do a tour, year-long tour. It was going to be like wicked, massive tour, all over the place, have a laugh, decent money. And you said, no, got to be around for the family.
Mm.
And up until that point, right? Up to that point, I wasn't a parent then.
Mm.
I couldn't get my head around it.
Mm.
I'm like, what are you talking about? This is what we do. Like, this is what we do. We go on the road, we have fun, we play great music. This is what we do. I had this real tunnel vision about just improving myself, about getting better, about developing my career. When you said that to me, right, I didn't understand it until I became a parent.
Mm.
And then I totally got it. I totally got it. But I want you to give me your perception about what I just said.
Yeah, well, I mean, as a musician, we tend to be totally single-mindedly focused and self-obsessed, really, about ourselves and our music and what it means to. And so, sadly, sometimes partners, can sometimes take second place when there's an important gig or something to, when it's 7:30 in the evening, it's time to leave your studio and go downstairs and sit on the couch, and you were like, no, I have to get this mix done. Sorry, and it's not a good thing. It's not a good place to be, but it's what we tend to do. And then with the children thing, that's an interesting one, because there's not really you can't really point any good reason to have kids for. I'm going to have a kid because I'm going to have a child because it's going to be sleepless nights. It's going to be expensive. It's going to be worry. But we are, predisposed to procreate. And then you're still thinking, why am I doing this? I can't see any point in this. We were happy as we were, weren't we? But that's a man's perspective, because for a woman, it's a biological thing. But then when you're there at the birth, and that's one of the reasons I'd missed tours, because I wanted to be there for the birth. I turned down a few big chunky tours because I didn't want to miss the birth of my two children. And then unfortunately extends them, because you don't want to also miss the next 9 months or however long the tour might, let's say 6 months. You don't want to miss that either. So you end up taking chunks of time off. But once you've had your first child and you have that, you discover that parental bond, and it all makes sense, and all the anguish and the worry and the whatever and financial hardship makes sense. So it's a real difficult one with tour versus child. You'd never get those years back. That's the other thing, isn't it?
And there you have it, the Monday snack recap. It's great looking back, wasn't it? Great looking back. Very, very funny. Very, very funny. Hi to cousin Jeff, head of the family as well. And the final menu of the season. Final menu of the season, everybody. From Anita, tonight is spinach and ricotta tortellini. Hold on to that thought until June. Hi to Andy Coulthard as well. Right, people. So, that's the show. That is the show, and that's the show for a while. So remember, I'll be back in June. New album is on the way. The first single will be out then. My first guest will be the singer on that single. So I'm going to leave it hanging in the air. In the meantime, check out my website, andrewsmall.net. I'll be putting up updates of what's happening with me. My current album, What Happens Now, is available in all the usual places. My social media handle, Andrew Small Drums, Facebook and Instagram. Also on YouTube, you can watch this catch up again when I put it up later. Along with all of the episodes, you can watch all again at your leisure, for your pleasure. So folks, please do, when you go to YouTube, if you fancy it, do subscribe, do like, do comment, and I'll be putting up bits and bobs of new material in between now and June as well. So please keep your eyes peeled. Folks, it's been great hanging with you every Monday, and we're going to be doing it again in June. So until then, take care, keep safe, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.